Wagyu Gaming. Hey there, broskies. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So Wagyu here, and back with another Kingdom of Heroes Tactics War video. So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 debuffs that I personally love to use in the different contents of the game, mainly PvE. So why are we doing this? We're doing this to be informing you guys on what units you should be building, and hopefully this will help you guys determine whether or not to build a unit or who you can use for certain situations in game. So debuffs really give you so much advantage in different situations, especially in Towa normal, Towa hard, in Fafnir, in the sealed armory, and the different PvE contents, even in PvP. But as I've always mentioned, I'm not really a PvP person, and I'm not really experimenting much in PvP, so I'm not very familiar. So my opinion will be mostly based on the PvE content of the game. Okay, so do take note of that. Anyway, without further ado, let's check out the different debuffs in the game. So to check out the different debuffs, we're going to be going to the hero tab, going to the codex, and we're going to be checking out the detailed search. Okay, so all the debuffs are going to be listed here, and the only thing that I can't seem to find in this list is the knockback. I don't know why it's not here, but that's going to be a useful filter actually in the for Alter Realm especially. Okay, so we'll skip knockback for now. But anyway, without further ado, first and foremost, the most important debuff for me is actually reduced speed, not mobility. I almost clicked that. Reduced speed, and this goes hand in hand a lot with the reduced action gauge, and that's mainly because this game is all about turns, and the more turns you can take, the better for your team, the higher the leverage you have, and the higher probability of you winning against certain enemies. Okay, so this game bases turns on your speed. So the higher your unit speed, the more turns it can take. Like, I don't know the exact factor, but for example, if I'm assuming it's like this: if you have a unit that has 100 speed and it goes against a unit that has 200 speed, so it will probably go, the 200 speed unit will probably go 2 turns, while the 100 speed unit will be going 1 turn. So having reduced speed actually helps your team so much. It gives you more turns, especially. So why do you need more turns? More turns is equivalent to more damage. More damage, or aside from more damage, you can actually land more debuffs. So having more debuffs on your enemies gives you more advantage, and the more advantage you have, the higher your probability of winning. So I've always praised reduced speed and reduced action gauge in different videos that I've had in the past. Like for example, one of the videos I did was on the future of Apophis, and as you can see here, he's actually one of the best units to reduce speed, and his kits are one of the best as well, having a reduced defense and alongside a team lead skill of increased damage. Okay, so Apophis is actually one of the best units to be able to do reduced speed and reduced action gauge. So as always, if you have questions, do let me know in the comment section below. But as of now, reduced speed is my top 1 debuff in game, alongside the reduced action gauge. However, if your unit only has reduced speed, I'd still consider that a good unit. But units that have reduced speed and reduced action gauge are always going to be a lot better than just reduced speed units. Okay, so next on our list, I'd say the second most important debuff in game would be the continuous damage. So why continuous damage? Continuous damage can be used in the different bosses in game, especially in Towa normal. So one of the best units to actually land continuous damage, especially in Towa normal, will be Thea. I call her the Towa normal queen, and that's because of her ability to land 3 continuous damage debuffs on the enemy at once, even 4 sometimes, or even in Fafnir it lands like 5 at a time. So basically dealing like a certain percentage per continuous damage that lands on the enemy. So if you have 5 or 6 on the enemy, that basically is equivalent to a lot more damage to the enemy. So how much damage does continuous damage do? It's actually based on the enemy's HP. It's a certain percentage, which I don't know the number to, but we'll try to check. Maybe it's here. Or if you guys know, do let me know in the comment section below how much percentage does continuous damage do to the enemy and how much it stacks. As of now, I believe like it stacks up to 8 times. So you can have up to 8 debuffs on the boss or whatnot. And areas that you can use continuous damage: Towa normal, Fafnir B11, even sometimes to an extent in guild bosses alongside Altar Realm. So yeah, really continuous damage can be quite useful in a lot of the contents in game. So next on our list would be reduce defense. Okay, so why reduce defense? As always, try to get as much advantage as you can. So you reduce attack, when you reduce attack, it doesn't really entail, it only allows you to last longer in matches. However, having reduced defense on your enemy, it actually allows you to beat the bosses faster, beat the enemies faster. Sometimes even in PvP, beat the enemies in PvP faster. This one I've had experience with in PvP, so I can talk about PvP regarding reduced defense, okay? So, reduced defense actually increases the amount of damage output your team is able to do, and not just one unit. Like for example, if you do reduce attack and you land it on one unit, so that unit is the only unit that can do reduce attack. However, if you reduce defense and then you slow, so as always, I always pair this with reduced speed. Like Apophis really has this kit. So when you have reduced defense and reduced speed, so your enemy is a sitting duck with no defense. So basically, it's a dead duck eventually. Okay, so this allows your team to have a higher damage output, allowing your team to defeat enemies, defeat bosses, defeat different kinds of content faster. Okay, so that's why reduced defense is third on our list. So next on our list, I know I've mentioned in one of my videos before regarding the sealed armory. I said that the sealed armory runes are mainly for PvP, and I apologize about that. I take that back. So right now, I believe that the sealed armory runes, especially the earthquake rune, is quite useful in PvE, especially in Towa Hard. And the reason for that is you can actually stun the mobs there, and when they hit you, they actually hit really hard. So stun is the only way, one of the best ways to go through Towa Hard and different PvE contents in the game. So alongside using this in PvE, as always, this is actually still very useful in PvP, and it's going to be the best at PvP. I've actually lost to a team that built all of his or her units on earthquake runes, and that basically stunned my whole team the whole time. So why stun? So stun is quite useful because it renders the enemy useless. It doesn't allow it to use its skills, it doesn't allow it to do anything. So basically one turn wasted. And as always, comboed with reduced speed, that basically isn't a very good formula to the team that gets the reduced defense alongside stun. So there are a few applications on this, like Towa Hard is where I mainly use stun. However, I believe you can also use this in sealed armory, especially in B11, where the mobs are hit actually hard and also gives you reduced defense. Okay, so stun will be fourth on our list. So last but not the least, I believe that the fifth most important debuff in game is going to be the heal block. So this one right here. And why heal block? So of course, usual team compositions, especially with Ingwe, before, like in the earlier stages of the game. So units that have Ingwe actually give you a lot of trouble, especially when he starts healing. So yeah, that really bothers you in PvP and alongside different contents of the game. So heal block can also be very useful in Towa Hard, since units there actually have really high life steals alongside innate regeneration. So it allows you to block those abilities to heal. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it for the top 5 debuffs that I mainly use in game. So the rest of the debuffs, I'm not saying they're not going to be useful. I'm just saying that they're not going to be, I don't really use them, and they're not going to be as good as the debuffs that I have mentioned. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. And as always, if you do have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll always try to answer you guys as soon as I can. But these days especially, I've been really busy. I've been going out more often these days since the quarantine in our area has loosened up, so we're able to do normal things again. So yeah, as always, if this video has helped you or you found this video informative, do let me know by clicking that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. We'll be continuing to cover Kingdom of Heroes Tactics War alongside Idola Fantasy Star Saga, and also giving you guys the latest and new games that just came out. especially Genshin Impact. I'm planning to cover that in this channel as well. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and see you in the next video.